Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. This will be the last part of this series. I do want to go ahead and note real quick that I'm going to be making very liberal use of cheats to go ahead and finish this up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cheat to go ahead and just kill Samjek, or whatever the hell his name is, because quite frankly, I do not fucking care to deal with him anymore. And then we'll try to kill Servok, fairly. But if that doesn't work out or starts to get far too annoying, then we will probably just cheat to kill him. And depending on how long all of that ends up taking, this might get merged into the last episode I recorded, or it might be its own episode. I don't know. We'll see. But I just want to go ahead and freaking finish this series up. Now, it should be noted, this game does immediately drop us into one of the expansions, Siege of Dragonspear, if I recall correctly, I believe it is. I do not think that we're going to be immediately picking up there. But we'll see. We'll see. We probably won't, like I said, though. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get in. I'm not even going to... Well, fuck it. I'll have my timer going just for the hell of it, but...
What is the plan?
I fully expect that this is not going to take very long, and I'll probably just end up merging this into the next part, because I, frankly, 100% believe that I'm going to find this far too annoying to fucking deal with.
Yes.
If I'm being completely honest, I really believe that'll be the case. Don't you fucking idiots do it.
Yes.
You are indeed family. No other could have lived to oppose me in person. Of course, it will not matter in the end. Ultimately, I will prevail, and a new era will be born unto the realms.
Your evil ways end here tonight. This god stays dead, and you will join him.
Face me. Face the new Lord
I'm
of
not
Murder.
those of warrior born.
Fuck off, Angelo. Yeah, the game does not seem to be spawning these guys. And that was part of our issue. These fucking guys were not spawning until after the dialogue occurred. Which, the wikis doesn't seem to indicate that that's the way it's supposed to work. The wikis seem to indicate the way this is supposed to work is that those guys are already there. You can trigger combat with each of them individually without triggering the dialogue with Servok. And as a result, you can trigger combat, run away back to the entrance, and fight each of them individually there at the entrance. So I can only assume that, or at least that seems to be, that's the way I interpret the way things are phrased in the wiki, is that you don't have to trigger the dialogue. Because they make mention that you can leave the temple until you trigger the dialogue. So the implication to me seems to be that you can fight them one at a time, be able to leave the temple to rest, and then come back in, fully healed, kill the next one, rinse and repeat until they're all dead, and then fight Servok on his own. But that doesn't seem to actually be the case. So either the wikis poorly phrase things, or they made changes with the Enhanced Edition so that you couldn't do that, because that's not the original intent, obviously. Being able to do it that way is gaming the system.
My turn to save the day.
You require aid?
Fuck you, Samjek.
I'll do it.
No begging now.
There we go. Rest of them are dead. Now we just fight him alone. And like I said, I was going to nuke the rest of them, but we'll fight Servok one-on-one. I got no problem doing that. Although he is fucking hurting me quite a bit.
Yes.
So I'm going to back the fuck up. Goddamn camera.
strongest.
Quit recentering.
If none are better,
Death is inevitable.
I'll do it.
Fucking A.
Nature's servant awaits. Yes, oh omnipresent authority figure. You've a task for the fallen! As you direct.
I will not fall here. Healing now.
God fucking damn you. He really hurts.
You're a queer fellow. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna merge this into the last part, I think. That is some serious bullshit that he's just fucking doing like 20 damage each hit. It is consistently like the same amount of fucking damage, I swear to God. It really is. He's literally doing a straight like 18, 19 damage each time.
Blast! My spell is gone.
Okay, we seem to be doing like 0 damage now. We're just not getting any hits. Oh, okay, yeah, he just gets fucking ludicrous damage resistance, apparently.
My turn to save the day.
Yeah, he has ludicrous fucking damage resistance. There we go. He's dealt with. Okay, so that is it for the original Baldur's Gate. Like I said, we will more than likely at some point do the the expansions, not DLC. I don't think I'm going to immediately jump into that, to be completely honest with you. We will continue with this group. It should be noted, the game, at least here with Enhanced Edition, is set up to immediately drop you into Siege of Dragonspear, whatever the hell it's called, immediately after you finish this. So, yeah, like I said, we will be continuing with this party, but AI programmer Mark Sailor Moon is my bitch, Dara. Okay, that's, yeah, okay. I'm never gonna bother saying it. Screw it. I'm just not gonna do it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put this into the last part, part 62, whatever it was. But yeah, so at some point we'll get around to continuing our journey through, Baldur's Gate, but I don't think we're gonna immediately jump into that. The game is admittedly a product of its time. It should be noted, obviously, yes. The game is significantly more difficult than more modern RPGs, but honestly, I attribute that mostly not to it being a CRPG, but rather just the inherent difficulty of Dungeons and Dragons rule sets in video game form. Especially when you add in that I am not a Dungeons and Dragons person. I have never fucking touched the tabletop game. I have zero desire to do so. It's just one of those things that has never really interested me. I have zero problem with roleplay. But trying to get a group together and doing these things, it's just not something that particularly interests me. I'm more of a video game person. And as a result, I have never sat down and tried to learn the rules and all that fucking jazz of Dungeons and Dragons. As a result, my experience is very limited. I have just sort of general cultural exposure to it to know some things. But again, that is entirely just general cultural exposure, not because I actually know the shit. And so that significantly increases difficulty to an extent, but I do think that to some degrees, these games just had some general, in my opinion, bullshit difficulty spikes in them. Spikes that don't really add anything, in my opinion, to the enjoyability of the game. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't think some of those difficulty spikes that exist in these Dungeons and Dragons video games and games that use their rule sets. And I'm going to shut up because there's another little cutscene soon. Fate leads him who follows it and drags him who resists.
Only weeks ago, the malevolent Saravak brought the city of Baldur's Gate to the edge of destruction. You, like him, are a child of Baal, the dead god of murder. Baal foresaw his own death and sired mortal children in an effort to bring about his return. Saravak intended to become the new lord of murder. You put an end to Saravak's plans and slew your half-brother. With his passing, you became known as the hero of Baldur's Gate. Now, a new threat casts a shadow over the city. A massive army on a holy crusade has thrown the Sword Coast into turmoil. Little is known of the crusade's leader, the charismatic warrior Kalar Argent. Those who follow her revere her as the Shining Lady, but her background and goals are shrouded in mystery. Some say she is divine, a hero sent by the gods to crush evil no matter the cost. Others whisper that she is another spawn of Baal, intent on following the same path as Saravak. one thing above all else is clear. If the Sword Coast is to find any measure of peace, Kalar Argent must be stopped.
Saravok's dead. Everything's a mess. We should have gotten out of the city days ago.
No chance of that now. But Korlaj knows what she's doing and... Hey, did you hear that?
We'd better tell the boss. Come on.
Ugh, smells like moldy bones down here. Well, here we are in a creepy old tomb again. The last of Saravok's followers are down here, according to the Flaming Fist. All you gotta do is find their leader and bring her to justice.
Okay. Well, for one thing, it looks like we have a... Emoin's not joining us, which is a bit of a shame. I'd have an easier time if you came with me, Emoin.
I really want to. I wouldn't be much help, though. Ever since I asked Duke Janath to teach me how to sling spells, she's had me cooped up in the stuffy old library, studying boring books about the weave. She only let me come down here after I promised to bring her any arcane scrolls or tomes I could find.
You might find more if you come with us. We don't have an option of saying that, but, you know, that'd be my response. You'd probably find more if you come with us. That's unfortunate, but it's probably best to do as Duke Janath says. Tell me what we know of those we hunt.
They're mostly mercenaries, led by a wizard named Korlaz. This is her family's tomb. She aided Saravok, and the Grand Dukes want her dead or alive. We'd better be careful.
We were literally just informed that she would not be joining us. I don't know why we have an option to ask her, will you be joining me? But screw it, we'll act as if we have terrible memory. Will you be joining me?
Want to, but won't. My head's so muddled with spells right now, I can barely get my boots on. I'd only cause problems for you down here.
I'm pretty sure your boots are already on. Unless you're keen on leaving the house without your boots on.
I'll follow behind you with these flaming fists. If you need help with anything, just ask and I'll do what I can.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
There's a healer here too. Talk to her if you need any bandaging. She also knows all about fighting undead.
So do I.
Timora shine on you. Not that you'll need it.
Who the fuck is Timora? I think this is literally the first time you've ever mentioned somebody named Timora. I'm assuming it's a goddess or something. Okay. I must find Korlaz and deal with her, but we're not doing that today because this series is not going anywhere for now. We, like I said, we will come back at some point in the future and play through here, but not right now. Not right now. I believe you are using multiple weapons, or excuse me, not multiple weapons. I believe you're using a shield, are you not? But I can't go back. That's logic. But yes, I believe you're using a shield. So sword and shield style is useful because despite its name, it's any one-handed weapon in combination with a shield will receive the aforementioned bonuses about armor class against missile weapons. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I know you're using a club, but I think you have a shield with it.
Nature's servant awaits.
Yeah, so we finally got Jaheira with that bonus. You know, she hasn't had it this entire freaking time. Probably should have used it, but yeah, no, she just only finally now got around to having it. So we got a new person joining us, Safana. Whenever we get around to doing this, she is apparently non-detectable. She's another thief to replace Emoin, not Jaheira. I am going to say that I don't know. I could be wrong about this. I don't know if we get a different person, potentially, depending upon team composition. Because you may not have Emoen with you, technically. Emoen could also be dead, depending upon how you play through the base storyline. So I'm not 100% certain as to how this all works. But yeah. We have a thief to replace Emoen. She also uses short bows just like Emoen, but she doesn't have the shit ton of arrows that Emoen had lying around at the end of the campaign. Which, you know, kinda sucks. Oh yay, we got a key ring. God fucking damn it, now we're gonna be needing to lug around 1,000,000 keys. Luckily, I don't think it matters too much. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this series for now. We have finished the main campaign of Baldur's Gate. We will pick up Siege of Dragonspear at some point in the future. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to call it part 0 because this is technically part 0 of the series because it has not actually started. But yeah, so until whenever we do this, which probably won't be until sometime in 23 if I had to make a guess, because like I said, I'm going to be wrapping up Xenonauts next. And then I'll figure out exactly what my schedule looks like. We may not have a ton of recorded content on the channel, it should be noted, if my schedule doesn't allow it. I might choose to prioritize the live streams, which are going to have to change their day, it should be noted. I normally do them Friday, Saturday. That's not really going to be doable anymore when my schedule changes in, you know, late September, as I've mentioned before. So yeah. Actually, I think this is going to end up being its own part because it's now over 20 minutes long. But yeah, so I will see you all next time. Quick reminder, if you wish to support the channel financially, the two major ways to do that are Patreon and Streamlabs. Take your pick as to which you would prefer to use. Patreon is great if a ton of people support the channel via that method because of just Patreon. I believe they take their cut based off of the total rather than each individual. And so the math kind of works out that Patreon is best if there's a ton of individuals supporting the channel at the same time. While Streamlabs is, I think the math works out better if if it's just, you know, a couple of people supporting the channel periodically and not on a monthly basis. If you want to stay up to date with my schedule changes that will be happening, or probably actually will have already happened by the time potentially this video goes up, join the Discord server. There's a link to that down below in the description. That is where I will be most likely to post any changes, or rather, to post the changes that will be happening for the channel. Now, is this to say there will be no recorded content? No, again, it depends upon exactly how my schedule necessarily gets affected. My days off with this new job that I've gotten are Wednesday, Thursday, if I recall correctly. And so can't do live streams Friday, Saturday. Just do not have the time to do that, realistically. So they're going to be Wednesday, Thursday. Might try to do them midday-ish, which of course doesn't work for the vast majority of my audience, because most of my audience would be, you know, more than likely, I'd have to double check the numbers, but I believe like the vast majority of it is in the US. While obviously a midday stream doesn't work for people in the US for the most part. It works fine for, you know, people in Europe and whatnot, but not so much for where the vast majority of my audience realistically is. Going by what I recall of geolocation info for views, which I'm like 90% certain I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, so I will probably still have some recorded content. It's just, it's probably going to be a lot lower unless something happens with my schedule to free up a lot more time. So, yeah. I'll see you all next time. Like I said, until then,